The new soul inhabiting Ethan Price's body was still getting its bearings when his wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, proposed a divorce. My eyes lit up. She slid a set of divorce papers across the polished mahogany table, followed by a black credit card. "Sign these," she said, her voice as cold as the city skyline outside the penthouse window. "The card is yours. After this, we have nothing to do with each other." "Hold on. A black card just for a signature?" A grin I couldn't contain stretched across my face. Was this real life? Had I hit the jackpot? Ava Sterling noticed my strange expression. Her eyes narrowed. "Don't think you can pull the same stunts as before. If you tear up these papers again, you won't." Before she could finish, I snatched the black card off the table. "Deal." Ava froze. "Deal?" she repeated, a flicker of annoyance in her gaze. I thought maybe she hadn't understood me. "Yes, a divorce. The money's right here, so let's do it. We can do it right now." Ava stared at me for a long, baffled moment. "Are you sure?" Her brow furrowed almost imperceptibly. "Once you sign, there's no turning back." My eyes were glued to the card in her hand. A sliver of doubt crept in. "You've already offered the money," I said, testing the waters. "You're not going to back out, are you?" Her grip on the papers tightened. She looked away, then pushed them toward me. "Just as long as you don't regret it." I reached for the agreement, but she held on, her knuckles white. I gave a sharp tug, pulling it free, and without a moment's hesitation, scrawled my name on the signature line. Ava was silent, her gaze falling to the paper she had just wrinkled in her grip. At the bottom were two signatures. The husband's was dashed off, quick and clean, with no trace of sentimentality. For some reason, an unfamiliar wave of irritation washed over her. I pushed the signed document back to her. My eyes darted to the black card. Ava slid it across the table. I picked it up with both hands, bringing it to my lips and kissing it twice. I was rich. I was finally rich. A laugh escaped me. I was so lost in my joy that I didn't notice the dark, thunderous expression on Ava's face as she watched me. "Oh, right." I looked up and met her terrifying glare. The words caught in my throat. I froze, terrified that if I pissed her off, she'd cancel the card. "Is there something else?" Ava asked, her voice laced with fatigue. "Permission granted." I clear my throat. "So, when are we going to the courthouse to make this official?" "You're in that much of a hurry?" she asked coldly. I scratched my head, trying to sound polite. "I'm fine, really. The money's in hand, so the divorce is just a matter of time. But you seem to be in a rush. That guy, what's his name, Leo? He's probably waiting, right? And honestly, the sooner the better, besides. When do you want to do it?" Ava cut me off, her brow creased with a complex, unreadable emotion. I grinned. "How about right now?" Before I woke up in this body, I'd had my fortune told. A psychic said my financial luck was through the roof, but my love life was a train wreck. At the time, I thought she was crazy. What kind of psychic curses a client's marriage? It was just asking for a bad review. But now, maybe she had a point. Ava's mother had died young. Her father remarried and had a son, leaving her an outcast in her own home. During that dark time, Leo Vance, a man with a similarly troubled past, became her only confidant. They found solace in each other. If Ava's father hadn't forced her into an arranged marriage with Ethan Price, a strategic merger of two powerful families, she and Leo would have ended up together long ago. Ava resented her father, but she hated Ethan even more. She was convinced that Ethan had maliciously torn her away from Leo, that he had selfishly claimed her as his own. As a result, every one of Ethan's attempts at affection was met with a cold shoulder or a cutting remark. He bought her designer bags and jewelry. She cut them up and threw them away. He invited her to a Broadway show. She accepted, then deliberately walked out halfway through to meet Leo at a street festival, a calculated act of public humiliation. For their anniversary, Ethan gave her roses and a gold bracelet. She tossed them both in the trash can, saying with razor-sharp cruelty, "Some trash you can throw away, but other trash clings to you, and you can't get rid of it no matter how hard you try." Just how much did Ava hate Ethan? She once told him she'd rather sleep with a gigolo than ever have a child with him. Maybe that hatred fueled her. While ignoring Ethan, she poured everything into her company, growing it into an empire that eventually surpassed her own father's. With power came leverage. She demanded a divorce, but Ethan refused every time. The last time, she had threatened him. "If we can't do this amicably, I have no problem taking this to court." Ethan, his eyes red-rimmed, had torn up the papers. "Leo is not a good person. You'll be miserable if you marry him. You don't have to slander Leo just because you won't agree to a divorce. Ethan, don't you see how pathetic you're being?" He had clenched his fists, trying to contain the soul-crushing pain. "I just want you to be happy. Your sweet talk doesn't work on me. Why are you always?" Ethan closed his eyes, unable to finish. He wanted to ask her why she refused to believe him. He wanted to ask her what she saw in Leo, a man who was so obviously salivating over her company. He wanted to ask if all his years of devotion had meant absolutely nothing to her. But the answer was right in front of him. There was no need to ask. Heartbroken, Ethan had left. What happened after that? Even I didn't know. All I knew was that shortly after, I woke up in this body, and through a flood of shared consciousness, learned all of this bizarre history. If I ever got the chance, I'd drag that lovesick fool Ethan out and shake him. The world is a big place, full of wonderful women. Why waste your life on one toxic flower? Just look at me. Take the money and run. She's happy, I'm happier. What's not to like? Now, Ava and I were standing in line at the county clerk's office. She shot me a sideways glance. Don't you have anything to say? I looked at her, confused, then rolled my eyes and bowed, slightly with a smile. Oh, right. Yes, I do. Ava narrowed her eyes. What? I extended my hand and shook hers with solemn sincerity. Let's just say, no hard feelings. We're all good. Yeah, all good. Huh. The color drained from Ava's face. Just then, our number was called. I secretly pinched my thigh hard to keep from breaking into a triumphant grin. The clerk at the counter noticed my strange expression and pursed her lips before proceeding with the standard questions. Are you both filing for this divorce voluntarily? Absolutely, I answered instantly. Ava just opened her mouth, but no sound came out. All right, you two go over there and fill out these forms. The clerk pointed to a small desk and handed me 2 documents. I pulled Ava over to a set of chairs and started filling out my form with gusto, so absorbed that I started humming a little tune. Realizing my mistake, I snapped my mouth shut and glanced nervously at Ava. She was already looking at me. She put her pen down and met my gaze, her expression serious. I asked for a divorce so many times before, and you never once agreed. Why so eager this time? I stayed silent, feeling like I was sitting on pins and needles. Ethan, what kind of game are you playing now? She demanded. I paused, then summoned every ounce of acting ability I possessed. Honestly, I'm not eager. After loving you for so long, it's not easy to just let go. I gave a bitter laugh, but I come to terms with it. It's better to let each other go than to keep torturing one another. You and Leo can be happy together, and I'll be living in the most luxurious mansion, drinking the finest whiskey, and dating the most beautiful women. I drifted off into a daydream. A few seconds later, I shook my head, snapping back to reality. I reached out as if to touch Ava's face, but to my surprise, she didn't flinch away. I froze, my hand hovering awkwardly in the air, trying to look like I was too hesitant to touch her. You don't have to worry about me. From now on, you're free. People bustled around us, but Ava just stared at me, lost in thought. I had to call her name a few times before she blinked. Come on, fill it out. They're going to call her number again soon, I urged. Ava didn't say anything, just went back to the form. But this time, she wrote with excruciating slowness. 2 hours later, we had finally completed the entire process. You'll need to come back after the 30-day waiting period to pick up the final decree, the clerk informed us. I nodded, and Ava and I walked out. The moment we stepped outside, Leo Vance was walking toward us. Talk about being in the loop. Ava must have told him. Damn, so impatient. Did they have to rub in my face right here and now? It was just bad form. As I was stewing, Leo walked right up and greeted me. I managed a weak smile. What are you doing? Ava started, looking surprised. You said you were getting a divorce. So I came right over. Leo interrupted her. Even though you're divorced, we can still be friends. Ethan, I hope we can continue to count on your goodwill in the future. He stepped in front of Ava and extended his hand to me, a clear gesture of claiming his territory. Huh, like I was going to fight him for her. What was his hurry? Were they racing to the grave together? I barely touched his fingertips, my disgust evident. We're not officially divorced yet, Ava said, breaking the awkward tension. We haven't gotten the decree. There's a 1-month waiting period. The clerk said if either of us has regrets during that time, we can withdraw the petition. Leo stared at Ava, stunned. Even I was taken aback. What was going on in her head? Is that something a person who actually wants a divorce says? I was getting more confused by the second. I could only muster a weak laugh. Don't you worry, I said, trying to smooth things over. I won't back out. I'll make sure you get this divorce, no problem. Ava looked up at me, her lips parting as if to say something. Just then, a woman approached from a short distance away. As she got closer, I recognized her. It was Ethan's adopted sister, Chloe. I didn't know much about Chloe Price, only that her parents had abandoned her and Ethan's mother, taking pity on her, had adopted her. The two siblings seemed to have a good relationship, but Chloe and Ava were always hostile toward each other. I never understood why. Chloe walked right up, squeezed past Ava to stand next to me, and affectionately linked her arm through mine. Ava bit her lip, her eyes narrowing as she stared at Chloe. "What are you doing here?" I asked. Chloe shot Ava a nasty look, then jerked her chin toward the ignored Leo. "Same reason he is, I guess." A strange anger flared in Ava. "You're Ethan's sister," she warned. "You should watch what you say and do." The implication was clear. Leo was here as a suitor, and for Chloe to claim the same motive was completely inappropriate. But Chloe ignored her completely, snuggling closer to me. "Does it bother you that I'm close with my own brother? Or are you jealous of his sister now, too? Besides, you two are getting divorced. It's a little late for you to be lecturing anyone, don't you think?" Ava's face darkened. She opened her mouth to retort, but Leo cut her off. "That's enough, Ava. They're siblings. They have a close bond. It's not our place to interfere." Leo reached for Ava's hand, but she glanced at me and instinctively pulled away. He froze for a second, then awkwardly drew his hand back and placed it on her shoulder instead. "Let's go." Ava didn't move. She was looking at me, as if waiting for me to respond to Chloe's remarks. When I said nothing, she lowered her gaze and let Leo lead her away. I took Chloe to the luxury condo Ethan had bought before the wedding. It was supposed to be a birthday gift for Ava. Too bad she preferred to cram into a cramped 860-square-foot rental with Leo. She had no interest in a place like this. But her trash was my treasure. I happily cracked open a beer for myself, thinking, Ava really is a damn fool. If I were her, why would I trade a husband willing to spend money and effort on me for some broke-ass loser? It was just pure self-destruction. "What are you smiling about?" Chloe asked, sidling up to me. I waved my hand. "Oh, nothing. Just thinking how great it is to be divorced." Chloe looked at me with a complicated expression. "Are you saying you really don't have feelings for Ava anymore?" she asked tentatively. "Why would I? I'm much more interested in money." I took another swig of beer. Life was good. Chloe suddenly got serious. "You're sure?" "Positive. So even if you had the chance to start over, you wouldn't give her a second look?" "Of course not." "Wait a minute. That sounded a little weird." "Whatever. It was probably just my imagination." I threw an arm around Chloe's shoulders and clinked my can against hers. "Sis, just you wait. In a few days, I'll find a new girlfriend. I promise I'll find you a great new sister-in-law." Warming up to the idea, I continued enthusiastically. "And I'm going for the best. She's got to be young, beautiful, and someone who actually appreciates love. That's it. I've decided. Tomorrow, I'm going to find a college girl to date." In reality, I was just running my mouth. Ethan was a good-looking guy, but he was in his late 20s. Talking about dating a college student was a bit much. But who cared? Who hasn't fantasized about dating a sweet, young college girl? It wasn't a crime to talk. With that thought, I cheerfully clinked cans with Chloe again. But she didn't seem happy. She pushed my arm away. "You stop calling me sis all the time. I'm in college now, and we're not even blood related. It sounds weird when you say it." Her voice trailed off. "I'm all grown up now." I didn't catch what she said at the end. I leaned down to her level and brushed her bangs out her eyes. "Huh." Chloe's pupils dilated. She jerked back, her face turning bright red. "Ethan, what are you doing all of a sudden?" When my eyes met hers, her blush deepened, spreading all the way to her ears. She stormed off to her room, tossing one last sentence over her shoulder before slamming the door. "You're so dense." Leaving me completely baffled. What the? I drained the last of my beer. What's with that kid? No respect. Calling her brother by his first name, just like that. Still, there was something charming about Chloe's youthful awkwardness. At least it was more interesting than Ava's ice-cold, hostile demeanor. The next day, Chloe begged and pleaded with me to take her to the mall. I laughed. "You're in college. Shouldn't you find a boyfriend to go shopping with you instead of dragging your old brother along?" Chloe mumbled under her breath. "I'm working on it." "What are you whispering about behind my back?" I said with a grin, giving her a friendly pat on the back. She flinched, then glared at me. "I told you not to touch me when I'm not expecting it." "I might." "You might what?" I asked, puzzled. Chloe just pouted. "Nothing." She turned and went to her room to get ready. "Anyway, I don't care. I'm finally back from school for break, and you have to spend time with me." I shook my head, resigned. Fine. I guess I owe you." "That's more like it." Chloe stood with her hands on her hips, her head held high in a triumphant pose, sweet dimples appearing on her cheeks. A strange ripple went through my heart. Whoa, hold on. This is just brotherly affection, right? Right? It has to be. Feeling a pang of guilt, I thumped my chest. "Heart, shut up." As I was wrestling with my thoughts, my phone rang. I answered without looking. "Hello, who's this?" "It's me. Ava." We were getting divorced. Why was she calling? To rub it in my face how much happier she was with Leo? Ugh, let her show off. I gave a flat response. "Oh, what's up? You still have clothes here at the house. When are you coming to get them?" I had a black card now. Why would I want old things that reeked of Ava? As a souvenir? Was she kidding me? Just throw them out? I'll buy new stuff. There was a pause on the other end, then her voice was low. What about the ring? You don't want that either? The ring? What ring? Oh, right. The engagement ring Ethan gave her. The one she immediately threw in the trash. The one he had humbly fished out and kept to this day. Ethan had treated that ring like a treasure, but then again, what did that have to do with me? I was a man with a black card. Did I care about a second-hand diamond ring? You gotta be joking. Oh, that thing. It's useless. Just toss it with the rest of the garbage. Another long pause. Ethan, are you trying to punish me? Ava's voice was so soft, I almost thought I was dreaming. But for the sake of the black card, I didn't get nasty. Punish you for what? For the fact that I left with Leo today. As I was trying to come up with a diplomatic response, she added, I didn't know Leo was going to be there today. I never told him we were going to the courthouse. That actually made me laugh. Seriously? So what? Okay, I get it. I suppressed the urge to mock her and asked calmly, was there anything else? The line was silent for a full minute. No. Okay, then I'm hanging up. Wait. Ava stopped me, wanted to say something more, but after a long moment, nothing came out. So, she fell back on the divorce as an excuse, desperate to prolong the conversation. Don't forget, we still have to go back to the courthouse in 30 days to get the final decree. Right? I was getting really impatient. Don't worry about the divorce. I'm on top of it. You don't need to call and remind me. I know. Okay, I have to go. I'm taking Chloe to the mall. Bye. After I hung up, Chloe stared at me with a resentful, jealous look. Well, the divorce isn't even final, and you're already on the phone with your ex-wife. Can't bear to let her go. I smiled and ruffled her hair. What are you talking about? A good horse doesn't go back to the same pasture. Your brother's not that pathetic. You'd better not be. Chloe huffed, then looped her arm through mine. Come on, let's go shopping. And just so we're clear, today you belong to me. No getting called away by some random person's phone call. I thought about it. The phrase you belong to me had a weird vibe. But then I figured Chloe's just a kid who just started college. She's probably just close to me and didn't think about her choice of words. As I considered it, I felt guilty for my own dirty thoughts for misinterpreting her innocent affection. I nodded, agreeing to her terms. All right. Today I belong only to you. No one will interrupt us. I went with Chloe to a cosmetic store on the first floor of the mall. She picked up a lipstick tester and handed it to me. I can't see. Can you put it on for me? I want to test the color. Huh. I glanced at a mirror not far away. I almost told her it was right there, but then decided not to spoil the mood. All she wanted was her brother's attention and care. I opened the lipstick, crouched down slightly, and helped her apply it. She tilted her head up slightly, her eyes hazy, which made me feel like we were doing something illicit. When you're distracted, you make mistakes. Sure enough, my hand slipped, and the lipstick smeared outside the line of her lips. Chloe pointed her mouth. You missed. Oh, sorry. I used my thumb to wipe away the excess lipstick. Only after I'd done it did I realize how intimate the gesture was. Chloe hadn't expected it either. Her whole body went rigid. Ew. She bit her lip, then quickly looked down. Nearby shoppers were all looking over. A sharp-eyed sales clerk walked up to Chloe. That color really suits your skin tone. Your boyfriend has great taste. You're a lucky woman. I wanted to stop the clerk from saying more, but I didn't know how. How did a simple shopping trip suddenly get so awkward? He's not my boyfriend. Not yet, Chloe said, correcting her. Oh, I'm so sorry. The clerk covered her mouth, but her eyes crinkled in a knowing smile. But it seems like it will be soon, right? So do you like the lipstick? Should I wrap it up for you? Chloe's face flushed a deep red. She leaned closer to me. Well, yes, please. Could you wrap it up for me? I looked at the sales clerk in amazement. This woman was a natural. She could talk anyone into anything. No wonder young girls were so quick to open their wallets. I gave a helpless smile and paid for Chloe's lipstick. Chloe seemed to be in a great mood. She grabbed my arm and pulled me toward the escalators. I need a couple of bras. Come with me. This was not a good idea. Is that really a good idea? I asked out loud. Why not? Chloe blinked, looking at me with wide, innocent eyes. It's lingerie. It's not really appropriate for a guy to go with you, I explained. Chloe's expression changed. It's just a brother helping his sister buy a few necessities. What's not appropriate about that? Oh, unless you don't see me as a sister. You see me as a potential girlfriend, or even someone you could marry. My heart skipped a beat. Oh, kid, don't do this to me. I was a man pushing 30, and she was a girl who had just started college. This felt all kinds of wrong. That's not what I meant. I shook my head hard, tried to banish the thought. Fine, I'll go with you. Just a brother helping his sister buy necessities. I've got nothing to be afraid of. A satisfied smile spread across Chloe's face. Good, let's go then. We took the escalator to the third floor. The moment we stepped into the lingerie section, we ran into Leo and Ava. Damn it, I should have checked my horoscope. What rotten luck. I was planning to pretend I hadn't seen them, but Ava walked over first. What a coincidence. Huh? Dude, are you okay? I was starting to lose the plot. A woman who goes shopping with her new lover right after separating from her ex-husband doesn't avoid him when she sees him. She walks right up and says hello. What kind of psychology was that? Didn't Ava hate Ethan's guts? Was I dealing with an imposter, Ava? I force a laugh. Hi, yeah, what a coincidence. Just then, Leo followed her over. Well, if it isn't Ethan, what brings you here? Oh, I'm just helping my sister by a few things. I pulled Chloe over, positioning her as a buffer between me and Ava. Ava's eyes turned cold as she shot a barely perceptible glare at Chloe. Tisich, speak of the devil, Chloe muttered, rolling her eyes. Actually, we're here to buy some necessities, too, Leo said, trying to diffuse the tension. Ava and I were both busy today, but she suddenly said she wanted to go to the mall to pick up a few things. It would make it more convenient when we move in together in a few days, so we changed our plans and came over. I had zero interest in hearing why this couple was at the mall, and even less interest in the progression of their relationship. I desperately looked for an excuse to escape. Thankfully, Chloe came to the rescue. She looked Leo up and down. Oh, and? Why is that our problem? Then, she grabbed my arm and started to walk away. I grinned and waved back at Leo. Kids, you know, don't mind her. Hell, we'll get going. You two carry on. Have fun. Sometimes I really admired Chloe's guts. Adults have to worry about so many things, which in contrast made her seem so pure and unfiltered. I watched her walk away with a fond smile. She turned her head and saw me. What are you smiling about? Huh? Oh, nothing. Just thinking how great it is to be young. I'm getting old. Chloe looked at me like I was insane. Pushing 30, and he's talking about being old? Is he serious? She crooked a finger at me. I leaned in, and she whispered in my ear, if you think being young is so great, then just find a young girlfriend and relive your youth. For example, Chloe trailed off. She didn't finish, but my first thought was that she was going to say, for example, me. Damn it, I was going crazy. I cleared my throat to cover my embarrassment and pushed her away. Speak properly. What are you doing breathing in my ear? Stop fooling around. Chloe pouted, looking unhappy. Whatever. Maybe you're the one with the guilty conscience. Fine, I can't win with you. I turned my head away, feeling flustered. Weren't you going to buy a bra? Go pick one out. Chloe grunted in agreement and went to browse the selection. I waited off to the side. A moment later, she held up a style and asked, what do you think of this one? At the exact same time, a familiar voice overlapped with hers. Is this one okay? Chloe looked over sharply. It was Ava again. Are you two made of superglue? Why can't we shake you off? Chloe snapped. Ava's brow tightened. She looked at me first, then at Chloe. You two came to the lingerie section together? So what if we did? Ava's chest rose and fell as if she were holding her breath, unable to lash out. She completely ignored Chloe and picked up a low-cut bra, holding it up for Leo. Do you like this one? Her tone was flat, completely devoid of emotion, as if she were doing it on purpose. Psycho. Chloe turned and grabbed a different bra, holding it out to me. This one or the one from before? Which is better? Before I could answer, Ava picked up a sheer white bra and raised her voice. Isn't this one better than the last one? Not to be outdone, Chloe grabbed a black lace bra. You like black lace, right? How about this one? Her voice was even louder than Ava's had been. Every customer in the store turned to stare. Ava looked over too. For the love of God. I lunged forward and clamped my hand over Chloe's mouth, hissing, Little monster, do you have any idea what you're saying? Seeing me and Chloe pressed so close together, Ava's face turned incredibly ugly. Leo, maybe I look best wearing nothing at all. Ava's fists were clenched. Her teeth gritted as she spoke to Leo, but her eyes were locked on me. I couldn't take it anymore. These people were absolute idiots. Grade A morons. They might not have any shame, but I did. A bunch of overgrown toddlers. I was practically shielding my face as I tried to drag Chloe away, but she was acting like she'd lost her mind, planting her feet and refusing to budge. Talk about an unlucky day. You could chalk Chloe's behavior up to her being young and hot-headed, but for some reason, Ava decided to get just as stubborn. The two of them just stood there, each holding a bra, glaring at each other. Leo must have been mortified too. He gave a forced laugh and said to me, it's about dinner time. Why don't we all go grab a bite to eat? That way we won't bother the other customers. What do you guys think? To his credit, Leo's idea of getting them out of the store was a good one. His strategy, however, was terrible. I mean, use your brain. You have two women who are at each other's throats, one step away from a fistfight, and you want them to sit down peacefully at the same table for a meal? What were you thinking? And yet, in the next second, though neither would back down, they both said in perfect unison, fine, let's go. Okay. I never thought the four of us, me, Ava, Leo, and Chloe, would be sitting at the same dinner table. It was bizarre. While we waited for the food, Leo sterilized the utensils for Ava. He happened to notice a ring on her hand. That's a nice ring, he commented casually. It really suits you. Ava glanced down at the ring, touched it gently, then looked at me. Just something I bought. I thought it looked nice, so I put it on. Just then, Chloe pulled a jewelry box out of nowhere. She opened it to reveal a pair of silver rings. She held one of them up. What a coincidence. I just bought something too. Then she looked at me. Want to try it on? I saw the other matching ring in the box and waved my hand in refusal. No, that's okay. Ethan, damn it. I think I'm done for. I nodded, giving in. Chloe was ecstatic. She personally slid the ring onto my finger, then deliberately flaunted it in Ava's direction. See, rings really do look better as a pair. Ava didn't speak, just silently tightened her grip on her fork. The tines scraped loudly against the ceramic plate. Ava, Leo warned. That seemed to bring her back to her senses. She bit her lip, looking like she was about to explode with rage. Excuse me, I need to use the restroom. With that, Ava bolted for the restroom. When she came back, her expression was still sour, but it was an improvement. She took a few deep breaths, then started peeling a shrimp for Leo. Leo, have some shrimp. She placed the peeled shrimp in his bowl. Chloe made a tisk sound, then peeled one for me. Ethan, have some shrimp. Me. Leo. Ava's brow furrowed, her eyes turning icy. He's your brother. How can you call him by his first name? You have no respect. Chloe glared back at her, her face a mask of annoyance. What I call him is none of your business. Let me repeat myself. What does this have to do with you, the ex-wife? You. Ava was so angry, she was practically snarling. All the humiliation she had suffered earlier came rushing back. She turned her fury on me. Ethan, aren't you going to do something? Chloe's a grown woman, yet she's so disrespectful and familiar with you. That's not good for either of you, is it? Chloe looked at me, clearly displeased, and fired off 3 questions in a row. Does it really bother you? Do you hate it when I'm disrespectful? Do you think we need to keep our distance? I felt so tired. Heck, Chloe's still young. Just let her be. Don't argue with her. I popped a honey-glazed abalone into my mouth. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Just let her be. Ava's face grew darker. Chloe, on the other hand, had a triumphant smirk. You really think this is okay? Yeah, it's fine. Then do you even know that she... To you. Ava grew agitated, standing up and pointing at Chloe as she spoke to me. But she didn't finish her sentence. Chloe quickly interjected. Ava, don't you dislike Ethan? So why do you care so much if he's close to me? Ava was left speechless. She sank back in her seat, restraining her emotions, and began to eat her salad with a blank expression. 1 bite, 2 bites. The more she thought, the angrier she got, until she could barely breathe. It was strange. She was even angrier now than when Ethan had refused her demands for a divorce. She couldn't take it anymore. She suddenly shot to her feet, startling everyone around her. I'm full. She grabbed her bag, turned, and walked away without a second glance at any of us. This was so damn ridiculous. Can you believe it? She just ditched her new boyfriend and left. Just like that, gone. My mouth twitched. I wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. Leo was clearly losing face. He managed a pained smile and said to me, Ava's in a bad mood today. Sorry about this. I'm going to go too. After they were both gone, Chloe and I burst out laughing. Were they here just for comic relief or what? Chloe was laughing so hard she had tears in her eyes. I wholeheartedly agreed. After a nice dinner with Chloe, we went home. For the next several days, we didn't see Ava at all. It felt like the air itself had become cleaner. One day, a friend of mine, Mark, suddenly called and invited me to a karaoke bar. But Chloe was still staying with me, and I couldn't leave her home alone. Besides, I wasn't a huge fan of loud places like karaoke bars. I was about to turn him down when Chloe leaned over. Karaoke? I want to go. Can you take me with you? So, I checked with Mark again. He didn't see a problem with it. Even said the more the merrier, so I took her along. The private room was noisy. Besides Mark, there were a few other people I didn't know. We all said hello, and they were a friendly bunch, ushering us to a sofa and ordering songs for us. Is this your sister? One of the guys asked, pointing at Chloe. Yeah. How old is she? She's really put together. The guy chuckled and took a swig of his beer. Something about his tone rubbed me the wrong way. I knew what men meant when they talked like that. I pulled Chloe closer to me. She's still young. But Chloe, completely oblivious to the guy's implications, actually sided with him against me. No, I'm not. I'm all grown up. I didn't know if she was naive or just naive. If I wasn't here, she would have been eaten alive. I shook my head helplessly and decided to let her have her fun while I kept an eye on things. She seemed to be having a blast, downing several beers and dragging me up to sing with her. She was a whirlwind of activity, but an hour later, she was passed out cold. Your sister's got a great personality, Mark said with a laugh. Man, you have no idea, I said, waving my hand, not wanting to relive the chaos. But he found it charming and leaned in to ask quietly. I remember you said you two aren't blood-related, right? What about it? You don't have any feelings for her? What kind of feelings? I played dumb. The kind that makes you pitch a tent. Leave it to this idiot to be so blunt. I paused, then quickly waved my hands. She's my sister. No way. Oh, good. That's a relief. Your sister is exactly my type. I thought we were friends, and you want to hit on my sister? Don't make it sound so bad, Mark said, trying to shut me up with an embarrassed grin. I was already annoyed. Seeing my expression, Mark dropped the subject. 2 hours later, I was hauling a dead-drunk Chloe home. At the front door, as I was taking off her shoes, I grumbled, "If you can't handle your liquor, why do you drink so much? Do you have any self-preservation instincts at all? I wouldn't have brought you if I knew you'd be like this. Didn't you see the way those guys were looking at you? Like they wanted to eat you alive. You're my sister. I can't let those creeps take advantage of you. Even if someone was going to, it should be family, right? Keep it in the house." Wait a minute. Did I just say what I think I said? My breath caught. I instinctively looked over at Chloe, who I had tossed onto the sofa. She was smacking her lips, rolling over, and clutching the corner of my shirt, sleeping soundly. Thank God she didn't hear me. Damn it, stupid mouth. Chloe reeked of stale alcohol. I tapped her on the cheek. Wake up. Go take a shower before you sleep. She just nuzzled against my shirt. Don't wanna. Chloe, get up and take a shower, or I'm throwing you out. I tapped her cheek a few more times. Annoyed, she swatted my hand away, then grabbed my shirt. I lost my balance, and her pull sent me toppling right on top of her. Don't be so loud. Let's just sleep together. It's over. It's all over. My mind went blank, but my body had other ideas. Mark's question from the karaoke bar echoed in my head. You don't have any feelings for her? The kind that makes you pitch a tent. Pitch a tent, pitch a tent. The words bounced around in my brain, a chorus of tiny voices whispering in my ear. A shiver ran through me. Something was happening downstairs. I scrambled to my feet. I was about to leave her be and let her sleep it off, but in the next second, she threw up. I had to laugh. Was she sent from heaven specifically to torment me? I put on a pair of rubber gloves, pinched my nose, and peeled off Chloe's soiled jacket. Now, she was just in a small tank top. In for a penny, in for a pound. I hoisted her over my shoulder and carried her to the bathroom. Sis, I'm just giving you a bath, okay? No other ideas, just a bath. I repeated it over and over, though I wasn't sure if I was saying it for the sleeping Chloe or for myself as I started to unbutton her clothes. And then, the most mortifying moment in recorded history occurred. The instant I touched the strap of her tank top, she woke up. Great. Just great. In a split second, I had transformed from a gentle, caring brother into a pervert molesting his sister. Just great. This is just great. What are you doing? Chloe asked, rubbing her eyes. I was about to lose it. To hell with being the good brother. Someone else can have the job. What does it look like I'm doing? I'm taking off your clothes to give you a bath. All bets were off. It felt good. Chloe blinked, trying to process the situation. I took a deep breath. I'm only asking you once. Are you taking them off or not? Are you washing up or not? Chloe scratched her head, still confused. So, I should take them off? I clenched my fists. You take them off, and you wash yourself. You don't need my permission. Chloe was still in a fog, but after a moment, something shifted. She became different. Emboldened by the alcohol, she wrapped her arms around my neck. Ethan, I really, really like you. My breathing hitched. I quickly pushed her away. We're brother and sister. Chloe, you're drunk. But she leaned in again and gently pressed her lips to mine. After a long, lingering kiss, Chloe looked at me and said, brothers and sisters don't do this. Then, she kissed the hollow of my throat. And brothers and sisters don't do this. She moved to kiss me again, but I couldn't take it anymore. I admit it. I had fallen for her. You're really? I don't know what to say to you. I sighed, pressing a hand to my forehead. Does that mean you'll be my boyfriend? Chloe asked, her eyes wide with anticipation. I looked back at her, our gazes locked. As she wished, I nodded. A radiant smile lit up Chloe's face, but her seriousness lasted all of 2 seconds. She gave me a sly look and tugged at her shirt. You know, I'm wearing the one we bought together last time. We had a very enjoyable night. The next morning, Chloe woke up lazily, snuggled into my arms, and said with a grin, Good morning, my dear boyfriend. Ahem, that sounds a little weird. You could just call me by my name like you used to. But she just gave me a mischievous wink. Okay, big brother. I just couldn't resist her. I rolled over, pinning her beneath me. Before, I practically had to beg you to call me brother, and you wouldn't. Now you can't say it enough. Chloe's hand started to roam, explore my body. That was different. How so? Before, calling you brother was just a title. She wrapped her legs around my waist. Now, it's a turn on. A temptress. She was definitely a temptress. I want to go 1,000 rounds with her, from dawn till dusk, without a break. And in fact, we did just that. We were inseparable for days, right up until the day we had to go get the final divorce decree. I woke up early. The thought of finally being completely free of Ava filled me with an exhilarating excitement. Chloe had plans to go to an amusement park with friends, and I promised I'd meet her there as soon as I was done. At 8:30 a.m., I called Ava. She didn't answer. Was she too busy tangled up with Leo? Fine. I was a generous guy. I'd give her another half hour. At 9 o'clock, I called again. No answer. I called again. Still nothing. 4 times in a row. That's when I lost my temper. Was this some kind of game? Furious, I drove to Ava's house. I rang the doorbell, and sure enough, Leo opened it. Look, I get that you two are all over each other. Can't spend a second apart. But could you at least have some concept of time? I snapped. We agreed to finalize the divorce today. I called 4, 5 times, and no one answered. What's the deal? She didn't come home last night, Leo said, looking lost after I had finished my tirade. Didn't come home? I paused. Then where is she? She said she had something at the office, that she'd be working late and would just sleep there. Right? My mistake. I jumped the gun. I turned to leave, planning to head to Ava's company. Ethan, Leo called after me. What is it? I turned back. He hesitated for a long time before finally saying, I need money. I know. Isn't that why you're with Ava? For her money? But why are you telling me this? If I give Ava back to you, how much will you pay me? I was sure I had misheard. I let out a soft, incredulous huh. Ava, I don't think she loves me anymore. I don't want to be the tool she uses to get a reaction out of you. Ethan, I'm willing to step aside, to let you two be together. I just want what I'm owed. I stepped closer to him. You just asked how much I would pay you, right? Yes. Okay, I'll tell you. You'd have to pay me $1 billion. Leo's brow furrowed. Are you making fun of me? Are you making fun of me? What kind of pathetic loser did he take me for? This was disgusting. I laughed in his face. I didn't waste another word on him and walked away. On the drive to Ava's office, I muttered a continuous stream of curses. Just as I pulled up to her building, she called me. I just saw you call me a few times. I did. Leo said you came by the house looking for me. There was a faint, almost imperceptible hint of anticipation in her voice. Yeah, it's urgent. What is it? The divorce decree. Did you forget? There was a moment of silence on her end. Then she answered coolly, oh, that. Yes, that. Nothing else. Nothing else. Ava fell, silent again. I still have a few things to finish up. You'll have to wait. If it's really that urgent, then no problem. I'm already at your office. I'll come up and wait for you to finish, then we can go to the courthouse together. Ava didn't reply. I hung up and took the stairs 2 at a time to her office. I waited from morning until afternoon, and that's when I realized something. She was stalling. I watched the hands on the clock tick by and said impatiently, I can't wait any longer. We have to go now, or we'll be too late. How much more do you have to do? Did every emergency at your company decide to happen today? Ava kept typing, her expression unchanged. It's just been a busy period lately. Can't be helped. I suddenly walked over to her desk. She couldn't move away in time, and I saw that she wasn't working on a document at all. She had opened a blank text file and was typing my name over and over again. Ava, are you deliberately messing with me? I yelled at her. Ava froze. She closed the laptop, stood up, and looked up at me. This is the first time you've ever spoken to me like that. So what? We agreed to a divorce. We both signed the papers, and now you're intentionally putting on a show and wasting my time. What's the point? Is this revenge? Because I wouldn't agree to the divorce before? Because I gave Leo a hard time and drove him away? Is that the kind of person you think I am? Ava took a deep breath, her eyes cast downward to hide the bitterness in them. Isn't it? I retorted. A sad, hollow smile touched her lips. I think our whole marriage has been a joke, she said, speaking to herself. Before, I was desperate to get a divorce, and you refused. Now you're the one who's desperate to end it. She looked up again, her eyes filled with an indescribable sorrow. Her throat felt dry and tight, and her eyes burned. She looked at me with heartbreaking sadness. Ethan, are you really that eager to be rid of me? Fine. Tears welled in Ava's eyes. She turned away so I couldn't see her face. I'll give you what you want. After all that, Ava and I finally got our divorce decree. From that day forward, we were strangers. I walked out of the courthouse, in a hurry to get to the amusement park to pick up Chloe. But there she was, standing at the entrance to the courthouse, just like that day when Ava and I had first filed. Only this time, Leo wasn't there. I told you I'd pick you up. Why did you come here early again? I smiled. Chloe pouted. I was afraid some scheming woman would snatch you away. Ava froze, then asked, Are you two together? We are. It's just a shame it happened after you and Leo got together, Chloe said, beating me to the punch. Ava's lips pressed into a thin, tight line, her eyes shimmering with 1,000 unspoken emotions. I drove away with Chloe, leaving Ava standing there, watching us go. It felt like that chapter was finally closed. My relationship with Chloe grew deeper, until one day, Ava suddenly called me. Ethan, we need to meet. If you have something to say it. If not, I'm hanging up. Wait, I'm marrying Leo next week. Okay, congratulations. Where are you? I need to see you. Her voice sounded desperate. There's nothing to see. Ethan, she suddenly screamed, as if unleashing all her pent-up emotions at once. You hear that I'm getting married, and you don't feel the slightest bit of jealousy? You don't have a single word to say to make me stay? If you just say what? Ava gritted her teeth. If you just say you still love me, we can get married again. Go back to how things were. Impossible. Stop dreaming. Why? Do you really need me to spell it out for you? The other end went silent. I could hear a choked sob. Then she spoke again. I'm downstairs, outside your building. What is wrong with you? Come down and see me. Her tone was firm. When I didn't respond, it softened, turning into a plea. Please, just let me see you. Chloe walked past me. She saw my grim expression and asked, Who are you on the phone with? Ava. What did she say to you? She said she's downstairs and wants me to see her. Then you should go. What did you say? I hadn't expected that reaction from Chloe. She had always been so easily jealous, and her relationship with Ava was toxic at best. It was shocking to hear her say that so calmly. Go, she repeated, and then tell her, loud and clear, it's no use coming to find me. I don't love you anymore. I love Chloe, and for the rest of my life, Chloe is the only woman for me. I couldn't help but laugh. That was more like her. But still, she had a point. If I kept avoiding it, this would just keep happening. It was better to do as Chloe said and make things crystal clear, once and for all. I threw on a jacket and went downstairs. When Ava saw me, a strange light flickered in her eyes. She rushed forward, reaching for my hand. I knew it. I knew you wouldn't just abandon me. I sidestepped her, avoiding her touch. I came down because there are some things I need to make clear. Go on. I want you to stop coming to find me. I don't love you anymore. I love Chloe. And for the rest of my life, Chloe is the only woman for me. I repeated the words Chloe had given me, then added a few of my own. Ava, you're nothing to me. Stop this pointless struggle. Ava stared at me in disbelief. But before what? You mean when I wouldn't agree to the divorce? People change. I sidestepped her, avoiding her touch. I came down because there are some things I need to make clear. Go on. I want you to stop coming to find me. I don't love you anymore. I love Chloe. And for the rest of my life, Chloe is the only woman for me. I repeated the words Chloe had given me, then added a few of my own. Ava, you're nothing to me. Stop this pointless struggle. Ava stared at me in disbelief. But before what? You mean when I wouldn't agree to the divorce? People change. Weren't you the one who was so eager to be with Leo? I wasn't. Denying it now. I scoffed. You're actually quite pathetic. I never said it before because I wanted our divorce to at least be civil. But now you're showing up out of nowhere and disrupting my life, so I might as well be honest. Ava, there are much uglier things I could say, but I won't. I hope you're smart enough to take the hint and leave on your own. Ava just kept shaking her head, her eyes rimmed with red. Finally, 2 streams of tears traced paths down her cheeks. She took a wretched step toward me. Ethan, please don't be like this with me. I can't do that. I was wrong. I went through all of that just to realize that the person I truly love is you. I know it's too late to say any of this now, but I was still hoping that you would be like you used to be, that you would gently wipe away my tears and tell me it's okay, that you've been waiting for me all along. Oh, in that case, you really have hit rock bottom. I turned slightly. I've said what I needed to say. You should think about it. After today, I'm blocking you on everything. There's no reason for us to ever contact each other again. With that, I turned and walked away. When I got back, Chloe asked, Is it all taken care of? Yeah. I nodded. Good. Chloe smiled, walked over, and kissed me on the lips. And she suddenly knelt down. I was watching from the window. You spent a long time talking to Ava. I'm jealous. You're going to have to make it up to me properly. My body tensed for a second. Then I practically jumped at the chance. I would be delighted to be of service. For the next few days, Ava never contacted me again. One Sunday, Chloe was chatting with me over breakfast. You know, that Ava is really something else. One minute she's saying she's going to marry Leo, and the next, guess what? They didn't get married at all. They broke up. I figured as much. You should have seen it. Leo's face was green. He didn't get a single penny. And then, that's it. Ava's focusing on her company, and Leo went back to his hometown. Oh, I took a bite of my fried egg. Chloe leaned in and whispered conspiratorially. But I heard that ever since you sent her away, she's gotten sick. What kind of sick? I don't know what it is, but apparently she can't. You know, with anyone, the moment she has any physical contact with a man, she starts dry heaving. She went to the hospital, and the doctor said it was psychological. Well, that has nothing to do with us anymore, I said. Exactly. She deserves it. After breakfast, Chloe and I went out to do some grocery shopping. As we were crossing the street, an e-scooter ran a red light and came speeding toward us. I shoved Chloe behind me, taking the impact myself. Thankfully, the rider managed to brake in time, and I just got scraped up. Chloe was terrified. She rushed to help me up. Are you okay? Let me see. The scooter rider was in shock, too. He parked his scooter and just stood there, wringing his hands. I touched Chloe's face, smoothing the worried frown from her brow. I'm fine. Just a few scrapes. I stood up, dusted myself off, and even took a few steps to reassure her. See? I'm fine, right? I took another step, but for some reason, my body suddenly felt incredibly heavy. Ethan, Chloe noticed something was wrong. I'm fine. And then I collapsed. I felt like I was on a stretcher, with paramedics rushing me to the hospital. Chloe was by my side, calling my name over and over. I wanted to get up, but I couldn't move. I let them wheel me in front of a doctor. Chloe was anxiously explaining. Doctor, my boyfriend was hit by an e-scooter, and he's been unconscious ever since. An e-scooter? The doctor asked, puzzled. Take him to radiology and get a CT scan. Let's see if he hit his head. Okay, Chloe said, bowing. Thank you, doctor. My head was pounding, feeling like it was about to split open. And then, a flood of memories came rushing back. I'd rather sleep with a gigolo than ever have a child with you. If we can't do this amicably, I have no problem taking this to court. I just want you to be happy. Leo is not a good person. You'll be miserable if you marry him. You don't have to slander Leo just because you won't agree to a divorce. Ethan, don't you see how pathetic you're being? Your sweet talk doesn't work on me. Why are you always? Whose memories were these? They felt like Ethan's memories. But then, who am I? Hello, is this the family of Ethan Price? Mr. Price has passed away from sudden cardiac arrest. We need you to come and sign the confirmation. Is this some kind of joke? You'll even fake a death just to avoid a divorce. I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't understand what you're saying. Are you a relative of Mr. Price? No. If he wants to die, then let him die. A cold body lay in the morgue. Chloe was weeping, clinging to it, her cries echoing in the sterile room. Why did it have to be this way? How did this happen? If I had known you were in so much pain, I never would have let you two get married, even if you loved her. Ethan, what was so good about Ava? Why couldn't you just turn around and see me? I love you so much, so much. Brother, please wake up. Don't scare me like this. Ethan, wake up. Ethan, don't scare me. Chloe's voice shook me awake. I looked around, completely disoriented. Where am I? You're in the hospital. Chloe suddenly threw her arms around me, her voice thick with tears. You were asleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Do you know that? You scare me to death. I was asleep for 3 days. Yes. What happened to me? You were hit by that e-scooter, and then you lost consciousness. Don't you remember? I was hit by an e-scooter? Oh, right. I think that did happen. Then what were all those memories? My head started to ache again. Who am I? You're Ethan Price. What's wrong with you? Does your head hurt? Wait, I'll go get the doctor. Ethan Price? I am Ethan Price. I remembered. This wasn't some transmigration. It was a rebirth. I had already died once. Died in absolute despair. And before I died, Ava was cursing me over the phone. After I died, it was Chloe who was consumed by grief. A sudden wave of profound gratitude washed over me. Fate had been kind to me. It had given me a second chance to live. This time, the choice was critical, and it was all about how I chose to act. I took a deep breath, grabbed Chloe's hand, and pulled her back, holding her tight. Thank God it's you. Chloe was startled. Ethan, what's wrong? Does something hurt? Let go of me. I'll get the doctor. I gently shook my head. I remember now. What? My name is Ethan Price. Your name is Chloe Price. You love me. And now, I love you too. I said, each word deliberate and clear. Outside, white clouds drifted across the sky. Sunlight streamed through the window, bathing us in its warm glow. I had a feeling that the rest of our lives would be just like this day, brilliant and bright. The end.